What's up, guys? It's Mark, and we are in the lab today. We are going to be installing the hammer bumper on the Jeep Gladiator JT from Motobilt. All right, guys, so we got the hammer bumper for the JT, for the shop JT. We're going to be installing it today. As they always recommend from Motobilt is to test fit everything first. We did that a while ago. We sent it off to powder coat, and now it's back, so time to install. As always, step one is going to be remove all your factory stuff. So this is a max tow package, so we do have the hitch. This bumper does work with the hitch. We went ahead and undid the bolts over here. We had 2 bolts here that went through and another 2 there. And then we undid the wiring for the 7-pin connector, as well as the wire that comes over for the trailer light. So go ahead and get everything pulled off there and get ready to do the install. Now, as always, the first step is lay everything out, go through the manual, make sure you've got these guys here. They are for your 7-pin connector, which you can see is here. This is for the tag light. We've got our hardware. Here's a couple here as well. And we did go ahead and remove these guys. It's a 3-piece set off of the factory bumper on both sides so that we could reuse those right in there. Now, some of you have a bumper with sensors. So Motobilt sends these guys to hold in the sensors. We didn't get these powder coated because this bumper does not have sensors. Therefore, it has these little plugs that go in there, and they attach with the smallest of the Allen head bolts there. So we went ahead and just installed those, got that all connected up. And the only other thing is the set of brackets. So here are the brackets. This is the hardware you're gonna be using. So you've got 2 of them there. We're leaving them loose for now. Got that bracket hanging. This bracket, as you can see right here. So time to put this hardware in. All right, so now that we've got everything laid out, we did go ahead and put those brackets on. It is now time. We're gonna build the bumper. So we are going to attach the 7-pin connector on there. We're gonna get the lights for the tag fitted and put into the bumper before we go ahead and bring it over here to tighten up those brackets and to actually mount the bumper itself. So we do have 3 brackets. Obviously, this one is gonna be for the 7-pin connector. This is actually just a blank plate if you want to color it for your Motobilt logo. So that guy is gonna attach right there. This is obviously going to go on the back so that it, if you have a color, shows through. So we're going to go ahead and bolt up the 7-pin connector. It lays back here. Put that little tab up. So we're going to go ahead and mount that guy there. And we're going to mount that guy there with our hardware right here. All right, went ahead and got this guy mounted. This one mounted. We used a 1/8 and a 10mm for the back here. All right, guys, so we, again, have everything installed here. We were trying to get the lights, right? These parts come out. It's actually a 2-part piece, right? So here's them. They're sandwiched together. The light clips in right there. However, after talking with Motobilt, if you have a Sport, which we have a Sport because it's a max tow, these lights may not work. What they recommended was within the Rubicon bumpers, that's the bezel that actually will work with this hammer series bumper. So don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of a tricky deal. They did say it in the instructions. I do wish almost like in this hole that there was just another plate that maybe had just a regular universal LED that we could put in. I honestly might just make something myself. I'm not going to do it right now because we're getting ready to take off here for a trip for a few days, take a vacation. But I think that's actually what I'm going to do is come up with just a square plate, attach it there, and then just do a white LED on the inside and tap into the factory harness. But we did have this, so the next thing is we're actually going to have to cut a little part of this here to get the bumper on. All right, so next up is to go ahead and cut this guy here. It is in the way of the bumper. We're going to go ahead and cut that with a Sawzall right about here. And then we're gonna take a flap disc, clean it up, and then of course, anytime we cut anything metal, we always do some touch-up paint on there, so we're gonna hit that as well. All right, so we've got everything put together. You can see the back plate here. We've got our tag on, and then we've got this guy on there. Again, we're passing on the lights for now, unfortunately. It is what it is. The only thing left we have to do is these little riv nuts go up into the if you've got the tow hitch here, and you can see where one is currently. So you got two holes that goes on the outside hole on both sides. But what I'm doing, I'm putting a little dab of RTV to put it up in there. That way it holds it in place while I manipulate the bumper to get the bumper on. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'm just putting a little bit on there, and that should hold it in place while I pick up the bumper. Okay. You can cut it. All right, so once you get the bumper on there, you do have the 4 washers and nuts to put on. After that, reuse the 2 factory bolts that came out right behind where the tag was at, and then those are going to go up into those. They're not really nutserts, but yeah, those guys that go up in the bottom. That's the bolts that I reused to go in there. So here it is, completely on, and here's what she looks like. Pretty simple install. The hardest part, man, was figuring out that these lights for me weren't going to work. Other than that, this bumper, if you watch this video, is probably going to take you about an hour and a half to install, from taking off the old one and putting on the new one. So I love this one. Again, I'm able to use my factory hitch setup because I do have the max tow, and I like that this guy stops here. I am going to be pulling this off and have it painted to match, as well as some trim pieces. But waiting on my powder coater so I can do the Motobilt fenders and inner fenders for the JT front and rear. So as usual, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't think anything's really too difficult. No specialty tools really. The little RTV helped to hold those inserts up in the bottom. Again, those were the outside holes. So don't forget, guys, as usual, like, subscribe. If you got any questions, comment, concerns, put them below. I did this video because Motobilt currently doesn't have any instructions and videos for this one, so maybe they'll share this video. But I love the Motobilt stuff. There was no fitment issues other than the lights on there, so I know a lot of the stuff comes raw and they tell you to test fit everything. This stuff went right on like a charm, so no stress there about waiting to powder coat it and then fitting it. But thanks again, guys, as always. See you next time.